I will show you the 5 things that you shouldn't be doing in sculpting and the things that are holding you back. And I kid you not when I say that this is the difference between you learning in weeks versus struggling for years. So if you are doing these 5 things, but you will be struggling for years. And this when I stopped doing these things, that is exactly when I saw growth in my own progress. And not only have I gotten results for myself, but I'm also helping so many other artists getting results, getting unstuck within literally as little as a few weeks, my friend. So this is very important. And a fair disclaimer that I want to give you is that this video will not have fancy editing or music, so I expect you to have at least 2 brain cells. If you expect that I should add music to entertain your 2 brain cells, bro, then this video is not for you. You are a Jedi, please click off. But if you're serious about making a change, then I swear, bro, these 5 things will help you improve at warp speed. Okay? And before we begin, bro, just close all of the tabs so you're not distracted. Make this full screen and watch this on 2x if you want to get by it quicker. Perfect. So let me start off with the first thing that you need to stop doing, and that is not having a schedule. And this is very important. Okay, if you suck at this, bro, then the rest of the tips are completely irrelevant. Now, I want to tell you, bro, that I struggled with sculpting for the longest time, and I wasted 5 years of my life just simply because I did not have a schedule. I had this vague idea. I saw these creators online, and I thought that, yeah, man, someday I'm going to sculpt like Yan sculpts, and someday I'm going to sculpt like Speed Chart. So that is a level that I am aiming for. And that just does not happen, bro. For 5 years, bro, I was doing everything other than sculpting. So I had time for everything else, but sculpting was something that I felt like I'm too busy for it. Or even when I did try, I felt this motivation coming in for a few days, and I would do sprints of 4 or 5 hours of practicing, but then the rest of the 7 days, 6 days, I would do completely nothing because it was overwhelming. And I just thought that, okay, man, I'm busy in something. I would buy different courses. I thought that, okay, maybe if I buy a courses that would help me structure things better, but then that did not work either. So this is my result after I tried the CG Cookie Human course, bro. And I bought so many other courses in the process as well. I watched tutorials. Whenever I was watching a tutorial, I would follow along for a few days, but then I would give up when it got overwhelming. And that got me that didn't get me anywhere, bro. So the important thing about scheduling is that you just need to figure out 2 things. And when I figured out these 2 things, my growth skyrocketed. And what was that 2 things? And that was knowing the when and knowing the what. So I just needed to know when I was going to sculpt every single day and what I was going to practice every single day. So what happened was that I had this vague idea that, yeah, bro, I will learn sculpting someday. But then I did not have a plan. I did not have a schedule. The thing that helped me was that I set a time for myself. And the cool thing about this is that at the time that I was learning sculpting, so on December 2023, I was actually more busier than I was here. Over here, I was still a student. I had an internship and all of the things were like, but I was still relatively free. Okay, I just did not have any priorities, and I thought that, okay, I'm busy because I'm scrolling on social media, I'm joking off, I'm playing video games, and that kept me busy, whereas I wasn't accountable then. But on December 23, bro, this is where I had a full-time job. I was commuting there 1 hour there, 1 hour back. I was also a top-rated freelancer on Upwork, so I had freelance projects as well, and I was so busy, but still, the only way that I got progress is when I figured out the when. So I decided, bro, that no one has the responsibility of making my life better other than me. And I realized this when I was going to my shitty job, my shitty 9 to 6 that paid me $200 a month. So what happened, bro, was that it was a Saturday and I was on my way to work because my boss had called me. And on my way to work, bro, like I just had this catharsis. Yeah, I just had this catharsis. I had this idea that, holy shit, bro, what the fuck am I doing with my life? It's a Saturday. I didn't want to go to the office. I wanted to go back to my hometown, to my family, but I'm going to work for my boss. But when it's a Saturday and when it's the perfect opportunity to practice the things that I want, to learn the things that I want, to, oh my God, to work on my goals, then I want to procrastinate. I want to play video games. I want to jerk off. And that is when I had this realization, but that if I can work so hard for someone else, bro, why can't I work hard for myself? If I can get up early to go to my job, to go to my 9 to 6, why can't I get up for myself? So then what I started to do, bro, is that I decided the when. And my when was before anything started. So every morning, bro, I schedule 1 hour of learning what to sculpt. A lot of people, what they do is that they figure out the when, but then they don't know what do they want to practice. And the what is equally or more important. So what happens is that if you do not know the what happens is that you know that, okay, at 6 a.m. I'm going to wake up before my work starts, and then I'm going to practice sculpting. And then you wake up and then you're sitting there blank. And then you go to Pinterest, you follow a random tutorial, you try downloading a reference. Someone said learn anatomy, so you try learning anatomy. Someone said no, learn about the skeleton, so you try sculpting the skull. And then it's completely random. So you have to figure out the when and the what. So the what for me was Speecher. And I just bought 2 Speecher courses, and I swore to myself that I will only follow Speecher. And what I will do is I will follow his course, and the what would be a new video every single day. And another what was that I would not go to the next video unless I got results with the previous one. So previously what happened was that, for example, when I was watching the CG Cookie Human course, bro, I would get curious and I would jump on to the next lesson and then on the next lesson. And when it got boring, when I thought, oh, wow, this is so much anatomy, this is so many terms, let me skip a few scenes forward. And then this is what I would do then. But what I did with Speecher courses was that I swore that, bro, I will only stick to Speecher courses, and I will only go to another resource if I feel stuck. So what happened was Speecher was so freaking fast, but like that dude is so quick. And sometimes what happens inside his courses is that he would be sculpting but talking about something else, and I just felt a bit confused at times. So what I started to do, bro, is that I would follow his course and his course only. I would keep trying it unless I got the same result. So my what every single day was to do that video tutorial without skipping forward, without jumping to the next tutorial, and sticking to that tutorial unless I got the same results. And let me tell you one more thing about this. So when you decide that, okay, when, and then you said that, okay, bro, every morning 6 a.m. I'm going to sculpt. When you schedule something, bro, the only thing that you have to do after that is that you have to try your best. And I want to tell you, bro, this because I'm human, and sometimes what happens is I do fall into a rut and I do get off schedule. And this is what I believe, bro, that you can fall into a rut for whatever reason, but if you stay in that rut, that is your fault. And all of these gurus pretending to be productive all of the time, 100%, but that is not true. That just sets a realistic expectation for you. And when you fall off your productive routine, you just feel shitty, bro. You feel like you've lost all the progress, and that is not the case. I want to tell you, bro, that this happens to me till this date. I sometimes do fall off my routine, but my priority when that happens is to get back on track as soon as possible. So all of these fake productivity gurus who say that, yeah, bro, I'm productive 100% of the time, that does not happen. They have productive seasons, but everyone falls into a rut. So if there's a journey that's 100 kilometers long, my friend, and you're driving on your car, you are bound to see a few bumps or a pothole that is bound to come in your way. So in the journey of life, you will see potholes and you will fall into ruts as well. Your responsibility as a person is not to fall into a rut, but to get out of it as soon as possible. So how quick you bounce back is how productive you are. So your action steps, my friend, is that what you need to do is that you need to set a time. And what I recommend to all of my students, so all of these amazing results that I show you here, bro, these are of people who are like, some of them have full-time job. We have Ryan King over here. Ryan King has his own YouTube channel, and bro, he works 10 plus hours a day on his channel every single day, but still he was able to get insane results. Why? Because he just scheduled 1 hour every single day. That 1 hour compiles. And what you want to do, bro, is you just need to set in 1 hour every single day. And all of these results, I tell you, bro, most of them, they are just spending 1 hour. If you can spend more, that is good. But 1 hour, I believe, is something that is very sustainable, and that is something that everyone can do consistently. And if you say, no, bro, Ishaq, I'm so busy and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, bro, just go to your phone, go to your screen time settings. So type in screen time in your settings, search screen time, and look at how many hours are you spending on social media and bullshit. And bro, I will not care about your art more than you care about yourself, bro. I cannot make you do things. I can only show you the way. And I have to tell you, bro, that if you have time for all of that bullshit, then it's your responsibility to make time for yourself as well. No one wakes up as you with the responsibility of learning this for you. No one wakes up as me with the responsibility of recording this video. I didn't feel like recording this video, bro. I want to go down, sit with my mom and have some tea. But I cannot do that right now because I have to record this video first. So no one does it for you. And so what you have to do is to just write down 1 hour. If you have a job, if you have school, and if you're tired when you come home, bro, then just schedule it before everything starts. Put that 1 hour You wake up at 8 a.m. for work, wake up at 7 a.m. Just give yourself that 1 hour. And over the course of a month, bro, I swear you will be blown away by the progress you make. And you also need to structure your learning. And that is something, bro, that I can help you with. If you want a free course, bro, just check out the link in the description. What you will get is you will get the same course that I've shared with everyone. And everything over here is structured out for you. So you know exactly the things that you need to practice. And I guide you in the step-by-step way. All you have to do is to figure out the when. So for you, bro, I've already figured out the what. Just click the link in the description, join the free course that is getting all of these artist results. And all you have to do, all I want from you is to figure out the when. So just figure out the when. I've already figured out the what. And this is the most important thing, bro. If you do not have a schedule, all of the rest of the points are completely irrelevant. So you need to have a schedule. Okay. Now, once we have that, let's move on to point number 2. The second thing that you should not be doing, and that is focusing on the details instead of the big shapes. And for the longest time, bro, what I was doing is I was polishing a turd. And what do I mean by that, bro? So my sculpts, they sucked. Okay. And you can see this Joker that I was trying to make, bro. The hair looks crappy. The eyes are too big. The nose is weird. The proportions are off. There is no jaw structure here. The lips are so flat. And my monkey brain, bro, what my monkey brain thought, what the Jerry inside me thought that, oh yeah, this sucks, bro. The thing that's going to improve it is textures and hair particles and lighting. And that is never the case, bro. What a lot of people do is that they think, oh wow, that my sculpt sucks right now. So maybe adding pose to it is going to help it look better. And you can also see the same example here, bro. So I tried to sculpt this pain, and then this pain looks like a pain in the ass, and it hurts to watch this. But you can see what I did, bro. I thought that maybe if I light it in a certain way, it's going to look nice. I did the same thing with this Sukuna here. And this Sukuna, I tried to light it in a way that it looks more presentable. But I want to tell you, bro, that details, pose, lighting, rendering, animation, all of that, bro, if you make a 360 shitty video, it does not improve your sculpt. And the proof over here is here. So when I tried sculpting Sukuna again, bro, this has no lighting at all. This is a viewport screenshot. And most of my art here, you can see that they are viewport screenshots, and then they look very, very nice. I want you to know, bro, that if there's a piece of shit here, okay, so we have this piece of poo-poo, and if I want to make this pretty, bro, I can try decorating this piece of shit with flowers. I don't know, I can add some sprinkles, some glitter on this so that it shines. But still, even if it shines, bro, it's a piece of shit. No one wants this. It's bad. It's a piece of shit. The same thing happens when you're sculpting. And let me show you here, bro. And I also wrote that I need to show you some examples here. So let me show you some examples. Let me show you the high poly versus low poly. What a lot of people do, bro, is that they think that, oh, wow, the more details I have, the better it's going to be. So what they do is that they start very high poly. And this is what happens. So look at these two spheres, bro. And the only difference between these two spheres is the poly count. So this one is 1.5 million. This one is 482. And look at what happens, bro. So let me turn off the wireframe. And when I go to sculpt mode and I try to smooth this one, you can see how it just instantly reduces to a poop shape. So instantly reduces to shit. But if I try smoothing this one, you can see that it's not smoothing at all. And you can also see that it's very lumpy. I still see all of the lines that the sphere has. The only reason being that this is too high poly. So when someone focuses on the details, they go too high poly and then they end up with a lumpy sculpt and it sucks. So what you need to do is you need to focus on the low poly shapes first. So you need to focus on the block out first. If this block out sucks, bro, then all of the rest of the steps will suck as well. Let me show you this example. Oh, I did not save it. No mind, never mind. Let me duplicate these two faces and let me tell you what I meant is that if this block out sucked, bro, if the proportions for this block out were like this, then of course your end result will also look like this. So a lot of people, what they do, bro, is that they think, oh boy, the block out sucks, the low poly sucks, I'll fix it later. You cannot fix it because later it gets too high poly. You cannot smooth things. You cannot move things. You cannot adjust things. So if this stage sucks, this stage will suck as well. The way that you learn sculpting, the way that you sculpt is that you always do this step by step. You focus on the main primary shapes first. You focus on the big shape and then you add a bit more details and then you add even further details. The same thing goes for the head, bro. So when you start here, you start off low poly, then you block out the features. And since this is low poly, you still have flexibility to move things around, to smooth things if you want. And you see how easily everything is being smoothed here. But if I try smoothing things here, you can see that it does not work, bro. I still retain a lot of the information. It's not easy to work with. So always, always, always focus on the low poly. Here's another example. Let me show you. So for example, this is my reference object, the object that I want to create. And I have two spheres. Once again, the only difference being that this one is low poly, this one is high poly. And if I want to adjust this cube, you can see I just select this edge, move this here, and boom, I have the shape of the reference that I wanted. But if I try doing the same thing over here, I cannot do that. I don't know, but I have to turn on soft selection and do some weird stuff here, but still it doesn't work. The only difference was that this is high poly, this is low poly. When things are low poly, you have less things to move around, you have less adjustments to make, and you can easily capture the shape. So always, 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 bro, this was like my biggest learning lesson, and I apply this to everywhere. So on faces, even when you're sculpting full bodies, notice that even before I add any details to the torso, I get the block out right. Before I add any details to the legs, I get the block out right. And if you keep doing this, if you focus on the low poly first and then the high poly, then you will end up with something that looks very, very nice. And it's the same thing for all of these models, bro. Everything starts low poly. If you've seen me streaming, then you know that I preach this very heavily. So what I want you to do, bro, is focus on the basics first and then the details later. Do not skip. Do not ever get curious and be like, yeah, bro, so then my blockout sucks. Let me skip to the ears and the heads. And then when I'm working the ears and the heads, then I will fix the face. No, that will not happen, bro. So do not skip forward. First focus on nailing this. Once you nail this, then and only then do you proceed to adding the features of the face. And once again, if you need a step-by-step structure, if you need all of these models to help you, then click the link in the description. I have a free step-by-step course that will guide you on how to do that. So 2 things covered. Let's cover the third thing that you shouldn't be doing. The third thing that you shouldn't be doing is random practices. And what do I mean by that, bro? When I was learning how to sculpt, bro, the most common advice that I got and the shittiest advice that I've ever got is practice more. And this is an advice that is thrown around so casually by so many creators that it sucks, bro. All this is, you just practice more, bro. Just keep trying sculpting. Try this for a year. Try this for 3 hours every single day for another year, and then you will improve. That's not the smartest way to go about this, bro. And practice more is such a dangerous advice, because if I tell you, hey, bro, practice more, what you will do, and this is what I did, is go to Pinterest, try finding a reference that inspires me and try to sculpt it. Or someone said, yeah, bro, practice more, practice anatomy. And then you look at these complex charts and all of these bullshit anatomical names. By the way, you don't need them. You are an artist. You are not a doctor. So these terms are irrelevant, bro. And then you see all of these, the muscles of the fat and the muscles of the face, and then the fat pads and the ecoches and all of these complex things. And then you wonder, yeah, bro, should I learn this? What should I learn? What should I practice? Where should I begin? What should be the right steps? And then it's just completely overwhelming, bro. So many people, they try this method for you just because someone said practice more. They keep trying to practice, but then they don't get any results, bro. And I have a litmus test for you. So if you spend longer than a month trying to figure out sculpting and you're not getting anywhere, you are practicing wrong. And you can see this is the difference between struggling for years, because all of this information will overwhelm you, and then you struggle for years, versus my students who get results literally within 15 days and as little as a month, all because of the free course that I keep mentioning to you. And practicing more does not help, bro. What I want you to realize is that there's a principle called the Pareto's principle. There's a difference between feeling productive and actually being productive. Okay, so if you're practicing this way, then yes, you spend 3-4 hours every single day and you feel productive. You feel like you've done something. You feel like you've learned something because you spend hours and hours and hours sitting in front of a computer doing random practices, downloading random references and trying things, and you feel like, yeah, bro, I learned something maybe. But then after a month, you have nothing to show for. I don't think that is productivity. This is feeling productive. Being productive is when you have something to show for. So if after 15 days, if within 30 days you have some progress, then you are being productive. And what is the difference between feeling and being productive? It is the 80-20 principle. Now, let me tell you, bro, what is the 80-20 principle? A lot of you may not know. The 80-20 principle tells you that 20% of your effort produces a massive 80% result. And 80% of your effort will only produce a measly 20% results. And what do I mean by that? So I'm having this conversation with you, bro. I'm speaking in English, and I'm not the best at speaking in English. This is not my mother language. But if someone wants to learn English, bro, they only need a few words, a bit of grammar, and boom, they can strike a conversation with anyone. There's a million plus words in the English dictionary, but we only use 4,000 words in day-to-day conversation. So you get it, bro. A few words, a bit of grammar makes 80% of the English language that I'm talking to you right now. I don't know a lot of the fancy, difficult terms. I don't know them. And the same thing goes for sculpting, bro. Instead of focusing on all of these 600 plus muscles in the body and the 207 bones in the body, you only need a few muscle groups, and a few things that you need to know about the shape and their form. So you can learn like a doctor and struggle for years, or you can focus on the 20% things that get you 80% result and skyrocket your growth. This is the difference between feeling productive and being productive. Another example that I can give you is, bro, I'm recording this video and I want to grow my YouTube channel. I could be working on the keywords and the thumbnails and then on the description of the video and then replying to every comment. These are part of growing a channel, right? But the 20% thing that I can do and that will get me 80% is to just record videos. So that is my 20%. And if I want to grow my YouTube channel, then I have to record videos. So this is how you apply the 80-20 principle. And what you do is just focus on the things. And right now, you probably don't know, okay, Ishaq, what should I focus on? What are the 20% things that will get me 80% results? And for that, bro, once again, my free course, I've laid it out for you. Only focus on the things that gets you result. And that is why we have the fastest results in the market, in the whole freaking YouTube. We have the fastest results. And one more thing that I want to add, that even if you have those resources, the only type of practice that works is deliberate practice. And what is deliberate practice? Deliberate practice is when you practice with intention. So let me share you an example. Let's undo this. And let's say you suck at sculpting the blockout. Okay. Now, a lot of times what people will do is that they suck at the blockout, but then still they would proceed on the next video. Why are you doing that? Deliberate practice is that knowing that, okay, I suck as blocking out the face, and then only practicing blocking out the face, only moving forward when this step is done. Now, let's say down the lane, you struggle with sculpting the nose, my friend. What a Jerry would do is that he would start from scratch all the way and come to sculpting the nose. That does not work. Imagine that you're preparing for an exam, a school exam, right? And then there's this one chapter that you're stuck at. Does it make any sense that you start the book from the beginning of the cover and read all the way to that chapter just to prepare for that chapter? It doesn't make sense. So it doesn't make sense when you're sculpting either. If you suck at the nose, bro, the beauty about deliberate practice is that you practice in a way that ensures that this step is done, this step is done, this step is done. This is not something that you're struggling with anymore. This is all clear. You're struggling with the nose. So instead of blocking out a face from scratch every single time just to reach the nose, what you do is you just duplicate this head over here and practice the nose deliberately, with intention, and this alone will save you so much time. So what you need to do is to figure out an area. Okay, what area are you weak in, and focus on only improving in that area. That, my friend, is deliberate practice. That is practice with intention. This is the only type of practice that will get you results. So if you have 1 hour every single day to practice, instead of blocking out a face from scratch every day, and by the time you reach the nose, you've already exhausted that 1 hour, what's the point? What's the point? So in that 1 hour, bro, to maximize your productivity, to maximize your growth, you just focus on the area that you are weak in. Similarly, if you're stuck at the mouth, just focus at the mouth and proceed with your learning this way. Only focus on the area that you suck at. The downside about this is that it might feel repetitive, it might feel boring, but take a look in the mirror, bro, and look at where having fun got you. Nowhere. You're having fun, sculpting the thing that you like, sculpting everything from scratch, skipping lessons, and then it got you nowhere. I want you to know, bro, that I am at the point where I make the characters that give me immense pleasure. I enjoy this. I love sculpting these characters. My students are at a point where they are making the things that they can be proud of, that they are enjoying, and they feel pleasure in. What I want you to realize, bro, is that the process is not fun. but the progress is very fun. So there's not a lot of fun in the process. The process is repetitive. The process is boring. The process is uncomfortable. But there's so much pleasure in the progress. The process will always be uncomfortable. The progress will always be fun. What people do is that they have this mismatch of expectation. They think, oh wow, the process should be fun as well. The process should be something that I'm always super excited for. No, bro. Like, no one wants to practice. Everyone wants to sculpt their favorite characters. The only pleasure that you get in the process is when you realize that, bro, I've been trying to figure out how to block out the head, and now you reach this point. Yes, you can feel pleasure there if you allow your brain to feel that. Now you suck at this stage, bro, and you're deliberately practicing. Okay, you stuck at the nose and you're deliberately practicing the nose. Now the process of getting from here to here will not be comfortable. It will not be pleasurable. But when you get here, bro, you will feel so much pleasure that, holy shit, bro, I achieved something. I did something. It was so hard, but I did it, and now I get it, and now I can sculpt the nose very comfortably. So I want to set realistic expectations for you. The process is not fun. The progress is very fun. Okay, and your action step for this lesson is that you practice deliberately. Figure out an area that you are weak in and only focus on that area. That was 3. So let's figure out on the fourth thing that you shouldn't be doing. The fourth thing that you shouldn't be doing is following different instructors. And why is that? Wow, Ishaq, there's so many talented instructors online, and I want to absorb all of their knowledge, and I want to mix match Jan Sculpt with SpeedChart and Danny Mac, and I want to do all of that. But Ishaq, why are you telling me not to follow different instructors? Imagine, bro, that you are solving this jigsaw puzzle. Okay, and you're solving this jigsaw puzzle, bro. What I do is I just come and I throw in another jigsaw puzzle into the mix, and I mix all of the pieces. How are you going to feel about that? You're going to feel like, I want to unsubscribe to Ishaq, and I want to mark him as not interested, and I want to block him so that I never see him again. That is how you would feel, because not only will it double the time that it takes you to solve the puzzle. So for example, let's say the one puzzle took you 1 hour, the other puzzle took you another hour. It's not going to double it. It's going to multiply the time, because now you have to filter through all of the pieces. You didn't know, okay, which puzzle piece was which one, and now you have to filter through 2 puzzles, and it's going to be such a mess. You confirm you're going to unsubscribe me. But the same thing happens when you try following different instructors online, because someone is going to say use Dine Topper, someone's going to say no, use Remesh, someone's going to say no, bro, don't block out first, go into the details first and use Dine Topper to add the details. But someone is going to say no, bro, focus on the low poly first. Someone's going to say that you need to learn the planes of the head first. Someone's going to say no, not the planes of the head, but learn the muscles of the face, and that will get you farther, and then you have to learn the fat pads. So all of these contradicting advices, bro. You are trying to solve multiple puzzles at the same time, and it will not double or triple the time. It will exponentially increase the time that it takes you to struggle with sculpting. Now, my realization was, because I tried this, bro. I tried following Grant Abbott and then Danny Mac and then Jan Sculpt, and then tried to follow each of their workflows. But my breakthrough came when I only stuck to SpeedChart. I just realized, okay, SpeedChart creates the kind of characters. He creates the characters in the style that I want, which are a bit realistic, a bit stylized. It's not super cartoony. I loved his style. And if I want to learn how to sculpt like SpeedChart, I will only follow his advice. And like I told you, bro, when I bought his courses, he's too damn fast. I was a beginner and it was too fast for me. So whenever I would feel stuck at somewhere, so for example, I couldn't figure out how he sculpted the nose, only then would I dump onto different resources, onto Anatomy for Sculptors or the CG Cookie Human course, just to get through that one hurdle. And this is what I did. So basically, SpeedChart was my main source of information. And whenever I felt stuck, that is only when I branched out to another source of information. So information. And when I got that information, I would jump back to SpeedChart. And this is how I want you to be learning sculpting as well. Now, which instructor should you follow? Of course, I will be biased if I say me, but let me tell you, bro, if you want results like my students, then the source of information that you should be following is the source of information that they followed. If you want results like them, you have to follow their footsteps. And like I told you, bro, I have a free course that is there. It's absolutely non-medical. If you like the style of characters that I sculpt, if you like the way that I teach in this no bullshit fashion, without diving too much into the medical terms that you don't need and only focusing on the areas that actually help you improve, then just stick to to my source of information. Once you get there, then of course, bro, you can branch off to other instructors, build your knowledge, further enhance your knowledge. But unless you get to that stage, do not look at any other source of information because it will overwhelm you. And lastly, after all of these points, the final point is to not use a reference or use a low quality reference. And I don't know, bro, like a lot of people think, well, bro, you know, if I don't use references, I will be super, super cool. And then they keep giving me this example of this manga artist. I don't know what his name was, but he's one of the biggest manga artists. And then you're like, yeah, you know, but he never uses references and he sculpts with his imagination. And I want to be like him, bro. Like, fuck you. The reason that he's there, bro, is because he used references. No one gets to a point without references. Yes, maybe when you have 30, 40, 50 years of experience, then you are less reliant on references. But to get to that point, you need references. And I also saw this when I was in high school. So in my university, when I was doing my bachelor's for 3D animation and design, a lot of students were like, they would come in and almost like flex that, yeah, you know, bro, I sculpted this without a reference. What? You think you're going to get laid if you say that? And then what they do is that, yeah, bro, they blatantly lie about this. That, yeah, you know, I never used a reference for this and I sculpted this from imagination. Look, stupid. I don't think sculpting with references is cool. Not sculpting with a reference is stupid. The reason being, bro, that it almost feels like you're in a jungle, you're lost and you don't even have a map. You're lost in the cave of a tunnel and then you don't even have a map, you don't even have a light. So your reference is there to guide you. Your reference is there to tell you what is wrong with your sculpt. If something feels off, look at your reference and then sculpt using your reference. Every artist uses reference. And bro, one of the most famous pieces of art is the Mona Lisa. Everyone knows what the Mona Lisa is. Davinci did not imagine Mona Lisa. She was a living person sitting in front of him, and then he painted her. So everyone uses references, and people who do not use references lie about that. That, you know, I don't use references, and it's super cool that you should block them, unsubscribe to them, comment this under their video, bro. Like, this is such a stupid advice, bro. Why not use a reference? Why deprive yourself of this guide that you have that allows you to sculpt characters, bro? Like when I tried sculpting without references, they always suck, bro. So I always use references, and there's no shame that's saying that, bro. I use references all the time. I use AI to generate references when I don't have good quality references, and that is the last point over here as well, bro. That you need to find good quality references. And what is a good quality references? So when you follow references, bro, this is what a lot of people do. They have these single plane images references. They try following different images of, let's say you want to sculpt Walking Phoenix. They'll find different images of Walking Phoenix and it does not work. The reason being because there's so much variety in these references, bro. You don't know what the focal length is. There's lighting to it. There's color to it. There's rendering to it. There's all of these skin detail and everything. And it just varies. It will not allow you to sculpt a good reference. A good quality reference is that you have one subject, but then you have multiple angle of the same subject. Now, I've already made a video on how you can generate references like this using AI, and I use this all the time. Let me also quickly load out the prompt. I completely forgot to do that. So please forgive me. Let me show you. So here we have Morpheus, and this is the prompt that I use. Okay. So what I do, bro, is I just give him this prompt. Colored or digital. If you have an image, then you can of course upload an image, but the main thing that you want to do is that you need the image to display three angles, these angles, and natural even viewport lighting. Color digital portrait reference. So you can copy this prompt, bro, and this will allow you to get references like this. I generate so many references with AI because it is so cool, bro. This is a tool, and before this there was no way we could generate references like this. So 100%, bro, use this to your advantage. And that is everything that you not need to do. And if you like this video, just subscribe. Let me know what you think. Which of these mistakes were you doing? Comment down, bro. Be accountable. And there's no shame at all. Let's accept our flaws. Like I was doing all of these, bro. So if you found this video useful, just like, subscribe, share a comment, and if you need a free resource, my friend, just join my free 1-month challenge that will give you access to this community and will allow you to learn sculpting in the quickest way possible. If you're a bit serious and if you need my personal help in doing that, you can consider joining the Davinci School and look at all of the results that we get inside the Davinci School. All the links will be in the description. Here's a fist bump. I wish you all the best. Boom.